We are a little late doing this. I'm not late. I'm just late to pressing the fucking thing on the thing. The thing that lets you know that, hey, people can actually hear you. Hey, Tucker Brony. Let's see if that will pop up on OBS. It should. It hasn't been giving me problems so far. It didn't pop up. Oh, boy. Hey, Bluish. Hey, Duct Tape. I've never listened to the Rainbow Factory. I've heard stories, I've seen posts. I've gotten the gist of it before. I've never actually sat down and listened to it, and that's gonna change today. So, excuse me while I try to fix my camera. Oh boy. Why don't I ever do this when the stream is off? Because I am lazy. Put that hole into this. Not this hole, but like this plug into this hole. It's the exact same thing I did with your mom. Okay. I might also have to put some pants on. No, I don't have to put pants on. In fact, if I never would have said that, everyone would just assume that I have pants on. And now everybody is on my case. Or everybody is I can't fool them into thinking that I have pants on now. Who am I talking to? Am I still talking to chat? Alright, wait. I gotta flip this switch so the camera doesn't turn off. There we go. I gotta go into OBS. Fix the goddamn camera. No, Jesus. Jesus. Activate. There we go. Then I gotta fucking do this. And then, alright. That's a thing. Hi, everybody. Can I hit the webcam thing now? It is I, Ricky Martin. Hi guys. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Rainbow Factory today. Everything is fine. I promise you I have pants on, but there's no possible way that I will ever be able to verify that in this stream. I promise you. You're just gonna have to believe me. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? God, the delay is literally like 30 seconds, but yeah, let's watch Rainbow Factory. Let me make sure that everything is fine. I need my headphones so I am able to hear. Chat, let me know if you're able to hear the story. Let's get this fucking show on the road. Seven Lost Nightmares. I have no idea what that is. She did this a long time ago, so even if I asked her, I don't think she would even remember what this is.
There's long been rumors as to how exactly rainbows are made in Equestria. While a great amount of Pegasi ponies are employed at the rainbow department of the Weather Factory, almost all of them do low-end work. What's known is that the great streams of spectra, the individual colors of the rainbow, flow through large grates and into vast vats. From there, workers carefully and equally mix the spectra into coagulated rainbow pools that mix and run through the factory and surrounding cities. Next, the mixture is pumped into the floor below, where the other employees atomize it and store it until the active weather Pegasi deploy it into field. However, no one knows how individual spectra is made. Supplies are never seen being brought in, leaving not even a single clue as to what goes into a rainbow. Tourists, when visiting the factory, are treated to an extreme.
I'm kind of like spoiled in the ending because I already know the twist to Rainbow Factory, even though I've never sat through the whole story. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the story though. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'll react as soon as the twist is evident, but that's about it.
Extremely foreboding and plain wall, with massive solid doors barring entry to any pony at any time. While most of the facility's various signs and architecture are bubbly and welcoming, the Rainbow Factory's upper floor was protected by harsh imagery of potential hazards and death, and the cloud wall was made not out of the clean white of the rest of the city, but of black, quietly thundering fog. To become an employee of the upper Rainbow Factory means sacrificing any life outside of those black walls. Workers were sworn to secrecy and forbidden from leaving and live inside the facility itself. Those few who managed to make it out not in a body bag were twisted and disturbed, too damaged to even bring themselves to talk about it. A lot of theories were proposed. Dark magic from captured unicorns, chemicals and environmental hazards that no sane pony would tolerate. And
That's
even
not
thoughts
it.
of another unknown sister of Celestia's, destined to create spectra instead of raise the sun or moon. None of them could be farther from the truth.
Let's find out what the truth behind the Rainbow Factory is, shall we, chat?
Come on, Orion. We're gonna be late for our final test.
Scootaloo called to a friend of hers. She was older now, in her last year of flight school. She, like all the other Pegasi in the school, were terribly nervous about the final test. Those that passed were granted freedom into the world to find their cutie marks if they hadn't yet, and become worker ponies. A little known, or at least a little thought about fact, was what happened to the fillies that failed their test. While uncommon, one or two from every class generally didn't have it in them to perform the vigorous acts and maneuvers. Those that failed their test were looked down upon in the worst ways, shunned and hated.
Society
Cloudfields
kicked them
always
into
bred
the
a form of
side.
nationalism among its occupants. If you weren't the best and didn't show the potential of being the greatest,
If you weren't the best, you might as well be the worst, because society was shit all over you constantly, every day.
you weren't allowed to be part of the glorious collective. Scootaloo moved a little to the side as
That actually sounds worse than what I said. The glorious collective, like you couldn't be part of the 1%.
Orion, a tall yet fairly skinny pony, settled next to her. He fluffed his light brown feathers and gave a worried attempt at a smile as he stared around where he sat. They were sitting in a large open waiting room overlooking the Colosseum with all the other graduating Pegasi. Just visible in the distance was the factory. Orion glanced at it and gulped.
What's the matter, Orion? You afraid of getting a dead-end job on the snow line?
It really is. It's like if you don't pass this test, then you will be destined to be like a fry cook at the Hayburger or whatever. Oh my god, that's awful.
Orion chuckled a bit, then
Either that or like a YouTuber.
closed his eyes and sighed.
No, I don't know. I don't think I can do this. What if I fail? Okay, what if I don't fail, but do just bad enough that everyone still hates me?
Is
I
that
don't know
me?
if I can take being deported. Where do we even go anyways?
Scootaloo
Is that me? Did I record these lines and forget about it?
gave Orion a friendly punch.
No one knows, you dolt. And we're not going to fail. Everyone here is going to be fine. I know I will at least pass. Thanks to the tips from Rainbow Dash, I'm sure to be fine.
Oh, yeah, sure. That reassures me. That's actually just as, if not even more reassuring than the psychopathic hate that every pony here seems to love to spread.
Quit panicking, Scaredy Wings.
Scootaloo replied.
The only one here I think might fail is that yellow pony with the dark green mane. She's the one who was out sick for that month, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Orion remembered as he craned his neck at the other pony's direction.
The one who had that bad case of wolf and wing. You look pretty confident, though.
I suppose we'll see.
Scootaloo trailed, turning to look at the factory herself. It gave her chills. Not of fear, but pride.
I hope.
I haven't heard this character speak yet, but I can already tell that I'm gonna probably either hate this character or love this character, because I'm looking at this pony, and this pony just has a fucking blowhorn on their flank. So now I'm imagining them to talk like this. All right, get in the line. Stop being you get in line. All right, fly higher, fly lower. Come on, let's bring up the pace. Like, everything they say is a shout, and I feel like that would just make me laugh.
Hope I get some cool active weather job. Can you imagine? Everyone in Ponyville or Philadelphia staring up at me going, there goes Scootaloo, such an amazing flyer. And from Cloudsdale, there can be no doubt.
She smiled and
This fanfic, someone correct me if I'm wrong. This fanfic is so old that this was like before we knew that Scootaloo's wings were too small to ever let her fly, right? Like, this is like season 1, season 2 fanfic kind of stuff. Or was this after we knew that she couldn't fly, and then the author of this fanfic was just like, fuck it, she's flying.
excitement, forgetting her tension for the moment.
That would be something, I'll admit. Mind you, just coming from Cloudsdale, who wouldn't be in awe?
Exactly. Praise the flock.
Praise the flock.
Power to the
Places, every
cube.
pony.
A massive buff Pegasus walked towards the
Oh, here we
entrance of
go.
the Coliseum.
We're going to do this by name. Your educators are on the east side of the field. Do not, I repeat, do not fly too far west.
Who
If
is
you
doing
lose
this
sight of
voice?
me
Is
for
this
any
Goody?
reason,
This doesn't
you'll
sound
be
like
failed
Goody.
Immediately. Take deep breaths, stretch your wings one last time. The test will consist of 3 sections: weather clearing, agility, and finally recovery. Clear the clouds, fly through the hoops, and then fly to the marked elevation. Close your wings for at least 3 seconds. Any less and you'll fail, but keep in mind, there's no extra points for extra seconds. Finally, recover before you hit the cloud floor. Understood? Any questions?
Any
The
questions?
instructor paused and carefully glanced at every single pony in the room. Everyone's eyes were
That's
completely
Goody, my
focused-
guy. Alright, I thought that was Goody. I thought that voice had a little Goody tinge to it. Any questions? Well, you see, I got shot the hell up.
him, and none were creased with confusion.
All right. Aurora Dawn, you're up first. Clear, fly, full, complete.
A yellow pony nodded and walked quickly up the starting ramp with purpose.
Must be
Stared at the watching
slippery.
judges,
Must be
waiting
smooth.
for a nod from all 3, and then took off with powerful force. The ramp bounced slightly from the force of the takeoff. Every pony watched as Aurora quickly reached the starting altitude, and then began the direct and purposeful attack on the positioned clouds. With expert timing and intelligent angles, the sky was soon empty of any moisture. Scootaloo and Orion watched with open mouths as they watched the first testee pull fast and tight turns,
The
expertly
first
shooting
testee.
dead center through each and every hoop. Finally, Aurora pulled herself up with proper altitude, hovered, and closed her wings. The group gasped as she started plummeting down towards the clouds and counted breathlessly. 1, 2, 3. They sighed as they watched her wings open at the correct amount of time, correctively holding that relief. Suddenly, Aurora's wings whipped forward, and the group of students flinched in horror as they heard a loud, hollow snap,
Oh my
only
god.
to be suddenly replaced by an unending piercing scream. Many, like Orion, shielded their eyes with their wings.
What
as
happened?
others, like Scootaloo, could only watch, terrified, as the blur of yellow, green, and red plummeted into the cloud with a dull thud. Wasting no time, the instructor walked forwards again, as the 3 judges simply pointed down and started shuffling papers around. Speaking loudly, as if nothing had happened, he called out again.
Daisy Fields, clear, fly, fold, complete.
Scootaloo and Orion stared slack-jawed, as the other pony...
That pony might have a contusion and bones poking through her hoof. Don't pay attention to that. Fold, fly, fold, complete, or whatever the hell I said. You up next. You go, go, go.
Gulped, then walked forward onto the path and took off. They turned back to the tuff on the cloud, where Aurora had landed and stared. As the wind blew the fragments that were thrown up from the collision away, they saw a shivering yellow body attempting to move, only to collapse with a cry.
Somebody get her!
Clear, fly, fold, complete.
Aurora still struggled to walk, wailing with every step. Her legs weren't broken. She could still use them fine, but it was obvious the pain from her wing joints and the loss of her potential life was crushing her. Scootaloo felt Orion shuffle uneasily, tears welling in his eyes as a frown formed on his face.
Holiday shine. Clear, fly, fold, complete.
No one's coming to help her.
Orion
Somebody get her! Are they just gonna let her be there?
Scootaloo felt extremely sad for the yellow Pegasus, but couldn't see herself helping her. She would be failed herself and sent away far away from Cloudsdale and any familiar place on Equestria, to a place where she or any other failed students could never stain Cloudsdale's reputation. It was a terrible shame, but Scootaloo couldn't fail herself. She couldn't fail her friends, and she definitely couldn't fail Rainbow Dash. Not after the care and the help she had given Scootaloo's whole life. Scootaloo blinked the tears from her eyes and forced herself to watch the completing students. One after another took off, successfully passed the test, and flew to the east gate under the judges' spots in the stands. That's all Scootaloo focused on. Pass the test, fly to the gate, live a happy life.
Orion Solstice. Clear, fly, fall, complete.
No.
What? You can't just refuse your flight test. Get out there before you piss the judges off.
No! Don't...
Things are getting heated. I just wanna like stop the whole stream for a second and say hi to Grim Narrator. Hi Grim, how are you? There's a Pegasus in the clouds shuffling, or how is she gonna get down? Does she just jump? What? No, don't tell me. I swear to God, if she jumps to her death, I'm gonna be very upset. But let's see what this character's deal is.
Don't even pretend to care about my future if you don't care about hers. You say you want me to get a good life, and yet you let those that fail suffer unbearable pain.
Get the fuck onto that field!
Wait, no! Stop! Everyone shut up! Everyone shut the fuck up! Oh my God, that was ridiculous! That take from Goody, wait, everyone stop! Wait, no, stop!
Pretend to care about my future if you don't care about hers. You say you want me to get a good life, and yet you let those that fail suffer unbearable pain.
Get the fuck onto that field before I fail you myself!
If you don't get the fuck out of my face! Oh my God, Goody! Goody! I don't know if Goody was like, I don't know, like, if he was trying to be, because that sounded like a goofy take. That honestly sounded like a goofy take. Like, that doesn't sound like Goody was legit pissed. It sounded like he was like, he was like a cartoon character pretending to be pissed. Like, if you know what I mean, get the fuck out of that field! Oh my God, I have tears in my eyes. I wasn't expecting to cry. I wasn't expecting to cry during a fucking grimdark. With tears of laughter, holy fuck, that was good, that take. Alright, I'm sorry.
Orion spoke sharply before walking onto the ramp. He stared at the judges, waiting for the individual nod.
Get the fuck on that field!
He took off. However, long before the starting altitude, he turned sharply and landed gently next to Aurora. She turned and looked at him, blood running down her forehead and sides, the tears streaming down her face.
What are you doing?
No!
You'll fail like me. You'll be exiled.
Huh. I'd rather be exiled from a place that treats ponies like this, rather than live my whole life while others don't live theirs.
Aurora smiled, happiness briefly replacing her sadness and her blackened, puffy eyes, until she stumbled again.
Leave duct tape alone. Power down the Pegasus device. We are not sacrificing him today. Maybe one day, but not today.
Again, an intense pain flashed across her body. Orion leaned in close, using his wing to brace the yellow pony against himself.
Oh my
He stared
god.
up at the judges.
Get the
beneath
fuck on
his
that!
vision. They stared down, unaffected, and simply pointed down, before looking back towards the ramp for the next contestant. Scootaloo stood shocked, hardly hearing her name called. She moved numbly up the ramp, never taking her eyes off of her friend, and the pony he sacrificed himself for to help. After a brief moment, she shook her head, recovered her thoughts, and looked at the judges. Thoughts passed through her head as she watched them all nod.
Oh, great. What do I do? I can't let everyone I know down, but I'll never see Orion again. I hope he knew that risk when he did that. I'm sure he's thinking the same right now.
Why do you
She
care? Is he like your
glanced at
boyfriend
Orion.
or something?
He wasn't looking at her. Instinct kicked in, as the familiar rush of wind cooled her and blew her thoughts away. She stopped at the right altitude and then launched again, sensing and seeing every cloud, formulating a game plan. In the matter of a couple dozen seconds, the sky was clear. She did a quick loop in midair, aiming for the first hoop. With the powerful flash of her wings, she propelled herself forward to the first ring, and the second one, and the third one, expertly turning and drifting. She curved in towards the second last ring, near the bottom of the field. As she descended, she caught sight of Orion and Aurora, almost at the west gate now. Orion turned his head and smiled weakly. Scootaloo's focus shattered. Orion knew what he did. He cared about her, he'd miss her, and he'd never get to say goodbye. Scootaloo cranked into the lower part of the ring, falling backward several feet and hitting the ground.
Oh
With
no.
a sudden, intense flash of fear, she flipped herself onto her feet and began flapping her wings, elevating off the ground.
Maybe that didn't count as a failure. I can still fly.
The judges
She spun
aren't
around at the
blind,
judges.
bitch!
3 hooves pointed down. Scootaloo started crying there, tears welling up.
I'm laughing at Scootaloo crying, but like her looking at the judges and then the judges just unanimously being like... There's something about that that makes me smile. I'm sorry. I know that's fucked up, but that's just what it is.
And blurring her vision. This wasn't right. This shouldn't have happened. None of it. Orion should have passed his test and cheered her on from the east gate. She shouldn't have looked at him. She should have just focused on flying. But there was no room for excuses. Defeated, she slowly hovered towards Orion and settled down next to him. She looked at him through her purple eyes. He looked back, offering a smile.
You did a good job.
Scootaloo dropped her head and sobbed. She then walked around Orion, lifted a wing of her own, and helped Aurora walk to the west gate. Before them stood a long, unlit hall, with only a cheap sign stuck to the wall, notifying test failees to proceed down the hall. They waited, only briefly, to gather themselves and prepare for where they would be taken, and then all stepped forward together.
Where are we? Where are you taking us? Is it the Pegasus device?
Against an empty carriage at the end of the lonely hall were 3 imposing ponies, leaning in a disinterest and bored pose. One of them happened to look up as the sorry-looking trio stumbled out into the open. They were on the bottom edge of the Colosseum, with the vast rolling hills and plains of Equestria visible.
Weren't we
far
just
below.
outside? Where the hell is this?
Boss, we got some damn worthless Pegasus.
The first one called to an even bigger pony on the other side of
Oh
the carriage.
no.
I suppose it's get to work time, is it?
Cool and hot shot. There may be more, too.
No. I was the last student to go.
Scootaloo spoke in sobs. Orion could only hang his head.
It's...
She paused, and then breathed deeply, determined to remain as strong as she could.
It's just us three. Aurora's wings, they're broken.
Hey,
They're gonna... Aurora's not getting out of this alive, is she? I mean, I know the twist, but I don't know how the fucking, like... I don't know how this fic ends. I don't know if this Grimdark has a happy ending. Which it probably doesn't because it's a Grimdark, but... We'll see.
ain't that just a crying shame it is? What's it to us? Oh, the better she don't come flying back to us no more.
We may have failed our damn test, but that doesn't mean we're not worth keeping alive.
Hey, wise guy, I got a bone to pick with you. You can't talk to my friends that way.
Scootaloo shouted in a flash of rage. She was
Oh, that was
determined
Scootaloo. I
to
thought
hold
that
on
was
to as
Orion.
much dignity as she could.
All right, sheesh. Hey, Batches, doctor her up before we head out. I don't want any blood on them seats. I just washed that thing. You other two, in the cart.
Orion and Scootaloo hopped into the carriage and got as comfortable as they could on the hard seats, but made sure to leave room for Aurora. As soon as the third of the large ponies finished bandaging her wing, Aurora carefully stepped into the vehicle and laid down on the bench in the back. Scootaloo inched closer to her and leaned down to talk as the door to the carriage slammed shut. The boss pony was inside the back, standing by the door, watching each of them.
So,
Scootaloo began quietly, trying not to speak too loud.
you're Aurora? I'm Scootaloo. I'm sorry we had to meet like this.
Any meeting of a friend is a welcome meeting.
Aurora spoke gently, with sincerity in her eyes.
We did our best.
Aurora's not gonna get
That's
out
all
of
we
it.
can say.
The fic is gonna
That's
make me
all any of
like
us can say.
Aurora, and then they're
Who's to
gonna
say
kill
that
her.
The city of the deported isn't a good one anyways.
The thought struck Scootaloo as she considered it. No pony was told where the Pegasi were brought. Most ponies considered it to be some odd land, like where the zebras hailed from, and made Scootaloo realize something even more profound.
Hey, if where we're taken is where Zakor is from, then there's gotta be a way to get back. It's not as if we're banned from Equestria. Fluttershy, an old friend of mine, she's a Pegasus who lives in Ponyville. She never passed flight school. She never even took her test. They've never come and taken her away.
Exactly.
Aurora agreed with a nod. Orion
Do you want me to
overheard and
lie,
offered
Wolf?
his
Yeah,
thoughts.
lie to me.
I
Humor
think the
me.
reason we're sent so far away is because no pony from Cloudsdale ever wants to admit that someone who failed the flight school could come from their city. What a fucking horrible place, now that I think about it. I never want to go back.
Maybe that's why no Pegasus ever comes back.
Listen, if you're from Brooklyn, you gotta learn how to rob like us. You gotta learn how to talk like us. If you don't talk like us and you don't rob like us, then you ain't from Brooklyn here, pal.
They just don't like Cloudsdale.
You goddamn worthless ponies can hardly call yourself Pegasus.
Boss
Damn,
spoke
what
from
the
door.
fuck?
He was swaying.
What is this narrative of, like, if you can't pass flight school, then like you're a Pegasus that's not from like from like Cloudsdale? Is that what they're trying to say? She'll be fine. Everyone will be fine. I trust Grim. Grim has never stirred me in the wrong direction before. If I'm gonna trust anybody in the chat, I'm gonna trust Grim.
Ever so slightly as the carriage was lifted and moved to an unknown location.
Useless failures is what you are. No pony comes back from exile, regardless of reason. Can't even pass your goddamn test.
Dude, who cares? So what?
Scootaloo jumped up from her seat, lifted herself
Can't
into
they
the
just
air
get
with
like
her
a
wings,
GED or
and drove
something?
legs first at Boss.
You shut the hell up about us!
Boss
Damn.
raised his hoof and backhanded Scootaloo out of the air onto
Bitch.
the floor.
I can treat you however I want. You hardly classify as ponies to Cloudsdale, or any of Equestria for that matter. Now sit the fuck down and shut up until you get to your destination.
Where are we being?
It's not a vulgar language in this fic. I like it.
The delivery guys, you should know.
Hell if I know. We hand this carriage off to ponies in suits and we get a bag full of coins to keep quiet about the whole thing. That's how it's always been, for 1,000 years.
The three fillies huddled together.
1,000 years.
Scared of
Everything in
being alone.
Equestria. That's how it's been for
They kept
1,000
quiet as
years.
They waded through the unbearable trip, all lost in their own thoughts. Friends, family, loved ones, and pets. All will never see them again, and some would never find out why. An hour passed, and then another. Finally, the uncomfortable quiet was broken by the sudden lurch of the carriage stopping in its flight.
Ah. Well, there's my stop. You ponies play nice now. Have fun in wherever the hell you're sent to.
The carriage door shuffled open, and Boss hopped out with a gust of cold wind. It was night outside now, with hardly any light to be seen at all. Scootaloo stared outside and noticed another figure staring in. It was dressed in all black, its tail dyed an unnatural black that never occurred in nature. Its face was covered in a black, loose-fitting mask, concealing its mane. All that was visible were rose-colored eyes, staring indifferently at the three ponies inside. They stopped on Scootaloo momentarily, unrecognizing, but she stared back. A second passed. The dark pony slammed the door shut, and the carriage took off once again.
At least we can talk now.
Aurora whispered in the dark, but they...
The one in the mask, it's Rainbow, isn't it? It's fucking Rainbow. It's Rainbow in a fucking gimp suit. Rainbow out here gimping. Is that what you're telling me right now?
They had nothing to talk about.
Rainbow out here gimping?
The carriage finally stuttered to a stop. The three desolate foals blinked their eyes awake, having all resolved to conserve energy for whatever came next. With a loud scraping noise, the door shook, and then swung wide open. Several more ponies, obscured by masks and suits, were moving around the area. Scootaloo blinked against the light from what she was seeing. They were in a cloud building. As her eyes adjusted, she noticed more details. Several of the blackened ponies were rushing around, some holding clipboards, some carrying briefcases and other important-looking items on their backs. The complex was full of machinery and signs. Pipes ran along the ceiling, and a loud humming ran in the background, occasionally joined by other industrial sounds, such as crashes or alarms. Scootaloo gasped.
This place. The architecture, it's all so familiar. I think we're in the weather factory.
Orion frowned.
That can't be right. We were traveling for way too long. We've got to be far away from Equestria now, not to mention the city.
Actually, Scootaloo may be right. I noticed. It was maybe the same amount of time from when we left the Coliseum to the place the carriage driver swapped, that it was from the swap place to here. But I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe that's just a coincidence.
Welcome, Muse.
A large and powerful voice commanded. Several of the suited ponies moved to make way for the deep, dark red Pegasus, dressed in a white lab coat.
You degenerates are probably wondering where exactly you are.
Where are we,
You're
sir?
in Cloudsdale. The Rainbow facility, to be correct.
The Rainbow Factory. Duct tape is yawning his head off in my chat. Sorry. That was an unnecessary pause. No, I paused because who is doing this voice? This is not Goody, obviously. But whoever this VA is, they're doing a great job.
Allow me to show you around.
What's going on here? Do you expect to use us as slaves? Because I'd rather be deported.
Scootaloo yelled.
I'd rather be deported.
Orion and Aurora got off their seats and stood behind Scootaloo, nodding in agreement.
Like you failures have a choice. You'll be here for the rest of your lives. Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I am Dr. Atmosphere. My degree isn't a medical one. I shall reassure you in case you're picturing some dreadful surgery going on behind the scenes. Strange how so many worthless Pegasus get that idea. No, my degree is in engineering. I'm one of the 4 colts in this facility. I'm sure you've all had the tour of the lower factory, no?
The 3 ponies slowly nodded, unsure what was going on.
Excellent! Who can tell me where the tour begins?
Orion spoke up first.
Where the spectra comes from upstairs and is mixed.
Very good. What a pity you're utterly useless to the flock. You could have been a slave.
I hate this, bro.
Dr. Atmos-
I hate this. I hate this fucking notion that because you can't pass a test, you are of no use to society. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. That makes me more uncomfortable than the fucking Pegasus device, actually.
Sphere smiled sadistically and patted Orion on the head.
But today we're on the upper floor. Please follow me. And don't get too far behind, or one of my helpers will be forced to encourage you.
With that, he winked
Encourage
at the
you.
ponies.
Jesus!
Nod. 3 of
Jesus!
them at the rear leaned forward and jabbed each of the Pegasus with tasers, shocking them to the ground. Dr. Atmosphere whinnied in laughter as they all yelped and fell, and continued with a soft chuckle as they all stood up again. Scootaloo blinked more tears from her eyes and stood herself up again, trying to lose the tingling in her nerves. She turned and quickly looked at each of the suited ponies, catching each one of them in the eye when she could. None of them were the rose-eyed pony from the carriage. Begrudgingly, she started walking behind the red engineer.
You simply must be careful in this department.
Dr. Atmosphere began in a tone not unlike the many other
Dr.
tour guides
Atmosphere.
in the lower floors.
There's plenty of nooks and crannies and vents and vats one could fall into. One must be careful not to hurt themselves. After all, you're all hopeless as it is. Any more so, and even we couldn't use you.
He glanced behind himself maliciously as the 3 fools frowned in insult. They were walking down a series of hallways with vibrating machines and assembly lines lining the way, occasionally ducking under a low-hanging wire and carefully stepping over steaming pipes. As they walked, though, the building became cooler and cooler. All 3 were watching, sensing, looking for any way out. They couldn't see any.
Now, let me tell you a story. Cloudsdale is where the weather is made. Without us, the rest of Equestria would starve, freeze, drown, and generally be a not very happy place.
Yeah, I know.
That gives us a special honor. One that cannot be tainted by, incompetent foes like you. How could the world look up and trust us if Pegasi like you are flying around wearing the Cloudsdale name? No. We needed to do something with all of you. And then we got a delicious idea one day, over 1,000 years ago. Those were smart ponies back then, I'll say. You don't find too many of them these days. But I digress. Here, now, through these doors. Quickly now, before more encouragement is supplied.
The hell?
Dr. Atmosphere opened the heavy-looking door in the cramped corridor and offered a hoof inside. Scootaloo stared up at him. He glanced at a suited pony. Scootaloo and the others walked inside as he laughed again.
Enjoy the rest of your pitiful life.
Oh no. Where
With
what?
that, he slammed the door closed. They all turned and looked at the big room where they had been led to. It was fairly open and empty, almost like a theater room. At one end of the room, there were 6 square vats, each one of them nearly filled with individual spectra. Above them was a particular-looking machine. From the central stack, 6 hoses broke off and led above each of the individual vats. At the top of the stack, there was a single opening, red with rust despite the rest of the machine being shiny and clean. Even further above was a fairly complex-looking object, with chains and gears hanging off the beams and pipes loosely. Running even higher than the whole machine was a length of scaffolding, with doors on either side leading out of the room. Down on the floor, a small collection of defeated crying ponies sat, chatting quietly.
Those suits, those are from that other flight school across town.
Aurora informed, sounding shocked.
And those other ponies, sitting over there, see? I remember a trip we went out once with Levitating Acres Private School. I remember them from that trip.
So, this is where all the failures go. Not deported, but forced to work forever?
Orion sobbed.
Forced to work this minimum wage job forever? Oh wow, he is. Congrats, Wolf. You're the first. Yes. I'm the first to react to any Rainbow Factory audio drama? You're lying. I don't believe you. Seriously? Wait, let me see. Well, the first thing I see is my stream, of course. Rainbow Factory reaction. I type very slow, I know. Holy shit, that is actually correct. Wait, no! There's somebody else. Joe listens to Seven Lost Nightmares, Rainbow Factory, Grimdark. There's some other person who reacted to this 6 years ago, and their name is Jolt. I can't take that mantle away from this guy. Alright. Okay, alright. Yeah. But I am not the first. Because that didn't sound correct. You got me really excited for no reason, but thank you.
Quietly, in exchange for helping someone, he had doomed himself and his good friend for a
Hi,
life.
Beyblader.
Scootaloo reached a reassuring wing over and lifted his chin. She smiled at him, understanding his depression.
At least we don't have to go through it alone.
She cooed softly. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the group of ex-students. One pony from an unidentified school took off.
I am the second.
Open doors on the scaffolding.
There's nothing wrong with being number
Two
two.
suited ponies launched
That sounds
up at
really
record
weird. I
speed,
never want to
and
say
both
that
clipped
again.
the flyaway with their tasers. The pony spasmed in air and dropped like a stone, with an audible crack
Jesus
as it
Christ.
landed, and a violent burst of twitching. All the other ponies walked back, staring horrified at their friend. They watched, hopefully for a long time. He didn't move.
He's gone.
Some cried softly. Most others turned away, too far confused to feel any other emotions.
I guess that option's out.
Aurora said to no one in particular.
But you can't fly right now anyways.
That medic guy, Patches, or whatever he was called. He popped my wings back into their joints and bandaged up where my skin tore. I won't be winning any races, but...
Wolf, have you thought of reacting to Story of the Blanks? I should. When I was looking for Grimdarks to react to this month, that is one of the things that did pop up. But the title was so obscure that I just was like, I'll react to that some other time. But I will react to that at some point. Story of the Blanks sounds interesting.
I can fly again.
They slowly walked forwards and joined the group of ponies.
Did you know that they started Friendship is Tragic too? Yes, I do. But I'm waiting for Scribbler to come out with like more episodes, because Friendship is Tragic 2 is going to be like over 22 episodes. She told me herself. And I'm like, bro, why is it so long? Scribbler, why is Friendship is Tragic so long? I want to react to it, but I don't want to like do a stream where I react to one episode and then another episode and then another episode. I want to at least wait until she like comes out with 9 or 10 episodes, and then I'll call that reaction part 1, and then the next reaction part 2, and so on and so forth. I want that stream to last, you know?
Looking at each other with understanding sorrow.
Eyes front and center, you inept mules!
One of the suited ponies shouted. After the previous display, no
Holy
pony
shit, what the
challenged
fuck?
that
Yeah,
order and stared at
long
the
series.
scaffolding just as one of the doors opened. A few official-looking Pegasi walked onto the scaffolding and turned to look down at the group with disgust. One of them stood on a small podium set up in the center and began speaking loudly and clearly.
By now.
This has nothing to do with Rainbow Factory, but I just want to make it clear that the fact that Scribbler is making over 22 chapters of Friendship is Tragic doesn't make her look bad. In fact, I'm glad that she could, like, write so much and commit so much of her imaginative brain to something such as Friendship is Tragic. You know?
You've all clearly determined.
It's going to take a while for her to finish, by the way, because if it's 22 chapters, it's like... She's only on episode 2 right now. It's going to be a while. Hope she gets to finish it.
And that you are not going into exile. There is no deportation. There never was. You are in the factory. You will never leave the factory. And while you may be called useless, that's also not entirely true. You're worthless to the flock as a pony, but you still have purpose. Purpose to all the ponies in this land, far and wide. You get to help us make rainbows. Beautiful, magical rainbows.
How do we get to do that,
Doesn't
mister?
that excite you?
The mysterious announcer grinned ecstatically, taking in all the disgusted looks from every foal on the floor below him.
I thought so. It is just such an honor, you know. It leaves every pony entrusted with the task speechless, too. Now, do we have any volunteers?
Every pony below glared with hate. One brave pony, a light pink one from Elevating Acres, walked forward a few steps, then yelled.
How could you ever get away with this? How could Celestia or even Luna know about this and tolerate it?
Everyone knows and nobody cares because rainbows are just so pretty.
It's slavery. It's torture.
I think you'll find it's more than that.
The second official pony walked out of the shadows and up to the podium. The pony was in a suit and masked. The first pony walked off the podium and allowed the second to talk. Scootaloo noticed that it was the rose-eyed pony from before.
Rose.
She watched more intently now.
I wonder which pony has rose eyes. Wait, aren't Rainbow's eyes like a magenta kind of color? We'll figure it out.
The voice was familiar.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah, let's go! I was right!
Charged with 3 tasks. She was originally in charge of just raising the sun and showering the land with rainbows. But with the moon being an additional task, she had to hand down the responsibility of rainbows. Celestia entrusted the Pegasi of Cloudsdale to make rainbows for her, and from then on. And for the first dozen years, we were given powerful unicorns to help create spectra. Spectra is pure pigment, pure color. Everything is full of spectra, but you can't just harvest it. You can never separate color from an object. It has to be artificially made with magic.
The masked pony never took her eyes off of the brave pink one.
That is, until our top engineers made a breakthrough. They discovered an ingenious way of extracting pigment. And it was so beautiful that even a simple machine could do it. but it couldn't be done with just anything. The conditions had to be right.
What did those horrible ponies do?
Let's see. It's called Adam. We harvest it out of sea slugs. Also, the little sisters that the big daddies protect, they have Adam, so we kidnap the little sisters to get the Adam, so we can give our population, underwater population, superpower. Oh wait, wrong media.
The pink Pegasus screamed, growing angrier by the minute. The mysterious pony whipped her mask off, unveiling more than her rose eyes. Her skin was a light cyan, and her mane was a gorgeous rainbow. Several of the fillies gasped. Scootaloo's knees weakened as it hit her.
Knees weak, arms heavy.
Rainbow Dash. Scootaloo's thoughts raced through her mind, and the room started spinning. How could it be? An evil twin, maybe? Perhaps some neglected sister. Rainbow Dash couldn't be this evil. She was her friend, her mentor, her only family, even if not by blood. How was all she could think.
It had to be live ponies. Only in ponies, where magic and spectra ran freely together.
Done lost her damn mind.
Could the spectra be separated? It was such a beautiful idea. Such a wonderfully horrible idea. And it worked so well. We could create more rainbows, a better quality, and of real spectra. And it finally gave us a way to prevent Cloudsdale from being tainted by all those horrible Pegasi that couldn't fly.
Well, all the other
I just want to point out,
their disgust and
the Pegasus are only horrible because they couldn't fly. That is some stereotyping ass bullshit.
fear, running and screaming from where they came in, backing off as suited ponies around them herded them back into the center of the floor. Scootaloo couldn't take it anymore.
I thought you loved me!
Huh?
She turned and
Oh,
noticed
no.
the amber-orange Pegasus.
I thought you loved me! How could you do this to me? I thought you cared for me! After all the help, all my life you've treated me like a little sister! And I've treated you like my big sister! You were my big sister to me! You were the only family I've ever had, and you knew it!
Tears were pouring down her face now, obscuring
Oh,
her
now
vision.
I'm actually
Her throat
sad.
hurt from crying and shouting, but she couldn't help it.
After everything, you're just going to let me die? I tried so hard!
And got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got
She stared at
so
the floor for a
far.
moment. Everyone was silent. Then Scootaloo looked up slowly, and while she couldn't see for the sadness in her eyes, she looked straight at Rainbow Dash, straight into those rosy eyes, past them, and deep into Rainbow Dash herself.
I thought you loved me.
This is
Rainbow Dash
actually
returned
breaking
a
my
look.
heart
Her
because
eyes
Scootaloo is my favorite of the CMC. Not because she can't fly or anything like that. I just think that she's my best personally because despite the fact that she can't fly, she compensates by being awesome in any other way imaginable. So, like, she has her scooter. She's like an underdog. She's the underdog of the CMC, where she's powerful despite that.
revealed no emotion, no love, no care, only apathy. Slowly, however, they glared at Scootaloo. Pure, seething hatred erupted from Rainbow Dash's mouth as she screamed in return.
I did love you! I tried so hard for you!
And got so far, but
I
alright.
knew everything I knew in hopes that you would pass your test! You had it in kid! I knew! I knew what they did here! Ever since I performed that sonic rain boom, and they approached me, they thought that if I was capable of making rainbows, that I could help them make its components. Well, they couldn't, and I learned a lot from this place. I'm the manager here, you know? I worked my way up, in secret, pretending to only be simple weather control. How do you think I can afford that massive house over in Ponyville? How do you...
She trailed, shaking her head.
Why do I not get notified for these? Well, you see, if you hit that bell icon in my channel and hit get notified for whenever I go live or do make a community post or literally do anything, then you will get notified of that.
Remembering her anger suddenly.
I tried! Alright? It was up to you to save yourself! You didn't just fail yourself. You didn't just fail Cloudsdale. You failed me! You failed me!
You failed
the
me!
Worst thing you could have done! You are just dead to Cloudsdale now!
It can't be about you, Scootaloo! You failed me! This is about me! This is about my feelings! Not your feelings! You flightless chicken, you!
You're dead to me.
Damn, the way she delivered that makes it almost sounded like even she was uncomfortable saying that. You ever say something but like the second half of you saying it is like I don't like you? Like she said it just like that. She was like, I shouldn't have said that.
The room tilted as Scootaloo tried to comprehend what she was told. Her mind broke as she was totally unable of focusing on anything. She stumbled slightly until Orion held open a wing, and she clung to it for stability. Rainbow Dash noticed this and pointed and yelled with more fury.
You can't have happiness. You ruined me. Now I'll ruin you.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Rainbow Dash, she's just like 13 or something. You gotta let it go.
One there. Him first. No.
Oh
Scootaloo,
no.
Aurora, and Orion
Oh
all
no, here it
jumped.
comes.
Suited ponies cornered Orion, pushing the other two to the side. He tried to leap out of the way, to run, but one of the stallions spun around and kicked at him. The hoof connected with the shoulder, and Orion collapsed with a shout.
Get back! Get back!
More suits yelled at Aurora and Scootaloo as they dragged a whimpering Orion to the front of the room. The giant machine in the back started humming to life, and the assembly of chains lifted to the top and moved towards the floor. Everyone noticed that they were shackles now, and the suits clasped Orion to them. Braving a look up, he turned to Scootaloo.
Don't worry, Scoots. I love you. Goodbye.
Now is the time to tell her you love her. You could have told her you loved her in the cart.
With that, the chains pulled tight and lifted the brown Pegasus all the way up to the gears. The chains grew taut and stretched each of Orion's limbs straight up and down.
We find the machine works better when the ribs are broken.
Rainbow Dash explained apathetically as the chains spun around in opposite directions, twisting Orion. His screams almost
it's like
covered
a
the echoing
saw
popping
trap.
and shattering noises. One or two jagged bones tore through his side, and his yells faded into a slow, quiet rattle of breaths. The chains untwisted, and then the shackles opened, dropping the shattered pony into the single opening.
You know what that reminds me of? It's literally a saw trap. In Saw 3, there's a dude who goes in a cross, but like his arms, I think it's Saw 3, his arms and his head is in a thing, and so his arms twist up and his head twist all the way back. So his neck gets broken and his arms get twisted up. And to this day, I've seen mostly all the Saw movies. I think that is by far the most brutal saw trap in the whole Saw franchise.
With horror, Scootaloo watched, her brain, overcome with what was happening, detached from all emotion. She noticed that the top...
I mean, did anyone care about Orion? I mean, when you think about it, Orion kind of seems like an OC self-insert kind of character, right? What made me sad is that, like, he said, "I love you" at the very end, and I'm just like, come on, man, now's not the time for this.
But the machine wasn't rusty. It was blood. Blood. Just like what was being tossed up from the mangled remains of Orion, as the rest of his body was swallowed into the great machine, finishing with one lone hoof, directed straight up. And then nothing was left. As the hoses over the green and red vats of Spectrum started spewing their brilliant colors, Scootaloo's vision started to fade, and the last thing she noticed was Aurora's concerned broken voice calling her name as Scootaloo flopped to the side.
Alright.
Scootaloo, get up. Get up now, hurry! Scootaloo, wake up!
I've gotta kill my big sister. Gotta take the
Scootaloo
fight
shook
to
her
her.
head, briefly wondering where she was and what was happening. In a flash, it all came back to her, and she jumped to her feet. Aurora was shaking her, fright encasing her face. The suits were starting to approach the two now, tasers and shackles up and ready.
Scootaloo! They're coming for us! What do we do?
I wonder what rainbows taste like. Well, according to the show, they're spicy. According to this, they taste whatever Orion tastes like.
Scootaloo looked for an opening. All the doors were blocked except for one. On the scaffolding, the suited ponies were slowly approaching, not rushing in order to prevent the fillies from freaking out. Fear was their tool. Scootaloo spun around, looking for an exit. There was only one.
I have a plan.
What's that?
Clear, fly, fall, complete.
Aurora nodded.
Oh,
in
God damn it.
understanding, her eyes widening. She repeated louder now, so the other frightened fillies could hear.
Clear, fly, fall, complete. Got it.
1,
2...
A collective shout reverberated around the room as every filly that could actually fly took off. The suited ponies gasped and fell back, unsure of where to go. There was too much confusion. A few of the faster-thinking ones took off as well, tasers at the ready, aiming for the closest Pegasi they could take.
Stop one! Clear!
With her command, the failures started targeting the dark ponies in droves. And while some of the students fell lifeless to the floor, a majority of casualties were the suited ponies. Scootaloo and Aurora landed on the scaffolding, right by the door, and reached to open it. It was locked.
Oh God, what do we do now?
We're still unclear!
Scootaloo shouted, turning around and bucking the door. Aurora followed her, focusing the brunt of her blows on the part of the wall where the latch would be.
Kill her!
She screamed at the other important-looking ponies.
Kill her!
She started to gallop towards the
Get her! Murder her! Murder her!
fillies, forgetting her wings momentarily. Scootaloo closed her eyes, pounding harder and harder on the door. It started to creak and splinter.
Any second now, Rainbow Dash will get here. It's over. I'm doomed.
She thought she would have cried, but there were no more tears left. Nothing came. The door started to split from its frame, now leaning inward. It wouldn't be long until it opened. She opened her clenched eyes, peeking up at the scaffolding. All the remaining ponies were there, pressing together, holding the enraged blue Pegasus and her cronies back. They wouldn't last long, however. Even as Scootaloo watched, twitching and yelping ponies were falling to the floor below, some even landing in the great maw of the Spectrum machine.
Oh,
the
God.
pink pony from Levitating Acres was there, and she turned to Scootaloo and Aurora, just as the door blew back into the hall behind.
Fly!
The pink pony demanded with pain in her voice. She opened her mouth to speak again, but was cut short as the pile of Pegasi blew apart, with Rainbow Dash standing enraged in the open. She was on her two back hooves, her front two rolling in the air. A small gash down her side leaked red, and her multicolored mane was torn in a patch. An unearthly howl passed her lips. and her rose eyes were drained of any sanity that was left.
Things have escalated dramatically.
Come on, Aurora!
Scootaloo pleaded as she spun around.
We gotta fly if we're gonna live!
I can't. This is too much. I haven't healed.
Aurora looked at Scootaloo with wide open eyes.
You go, Scootaloo. Tell everyone what happens here. Let them know.
She glanced back at the wall of students, almost bare now, as Rainbow Dash's lust tore them to pieces. Her blue coat was now glistening crimson, almost dripping, as she ignored the need for live ponies. There would be more. Cloudsdale could take a shortage of rainbows. In another few months, there would be more classes, more failures. But for now, all she knew is that Scootaloo had to die, violently if possible. Decades of
Okay. Why violently? Does it have to be violently? I mean, she can die peacefully, and you can still achieve your goal. Why does it have to be violently? Oh, because it's a grimdark? Oh, never mind. Okay, please continue.
For the Rainbow Factory had fractured her. She was the only...
Tell my story, remember this day, head ass. Yeah, it is going in that direction.
Only one allowed to be in the public, and keeping the horrible secret with her since childhood.
Oh
had
my
only
God.
led to psychological problems that no amount of therapy could cure. Scootaloo was her last link to sanity, and her failure had deleted that. There was no logic in her mind anymore, no care, no capacity for compassion, only hate. Pure, concentrated, evil hatred filled the gap her love for Scootaloo had once occupied. Rainbow Dash was no more. Only this monster remained.
I hardly knew you, Aurora.
Scootaloo cooed softly at the yellow Pegasus beside her.
I'm sorry I never knew you until all of this. And that we had to meet like this, and part like this.
She sniffled. She had found more tears.
Any meeting of a friend is a welcome meeting.
Aurora reassured Scootaloo.
Now you heard the other pony. Fly, Scootaloo, fly. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
With that, Scootaloo elevated and spun around, looked into the yellow pony's eyes one last time, and launched down the cramped corridor. She had no idea where she was going, but any chance at freedom was one she was willing to take. Aurora blinked a couple times, standing in front of the door. Rainbow Dash would at least have one obstacle in her way to Scootaloo. The blue pony tossed the last of the students over the scaffolding, and slowly walked towards Aurora.
How cute! You think that you, a useless broken pile of manure, could possibly stand in my way?
I gotta say, even though this is the thumbnail, I really love this picture of Rainbow Dash here. Like from a grimdark horror story perspective, this picture of Rainbow Dash with a smile and her eye like that and with blood on her wings is really good. Props to whoever drew this.
You really make me laugh! None of you could compete with the awesome power that I have!
Love can overcome all evils in this world.
She straightened herself in rebellion.
she's gonna die right here. I can already see it. But like, there's something about a villain being like, I'm all powerful and all knowing, and then somebody's gonna be like, you just need a hug. We all need hugs. Why like a hug will fix everything. Love fixes everything. And then the fucking antagonist just looks down and like steps on their skull or something.
As Rainbow Dash stopped in front of her, Aurora stayed in front of Dash, barring her entry down the corridor beyond.
Well then, bitch, let's see if love can overcome this one!
And with that, Rainbow Dash grabbed one of Aurora's bandaged wings and pulled. Tearing
I don't like that. I hate that. I actually hate that. What the fuck?
her completely, Aurora collapsed on her knees, grinding her teeth in horrible pain. But she didn't scream. Aurora wouldn't give that to Rainbow Dash. Rainbow grabbed her other wing and dragged her kicking and moaning down the center of the scaffolding. She lifted Aurora up by the wing, laughing quietly to herself as the look of intense agony appeared on Aurora's face. Rainbow Dash took to the air, bringing the squirming yellow and green pony with her, over top of the machine. With a squeak of laughter, she jerked at the wing in her hoof. It too disconnected from the convulsing Pegasus, and Aurora fell. She landed head first. The door on the scaffolding closed with a gust of wind, just as the machine began pumping out the brightest greens and yellows it had ever produced. There was no one around to see it.
Well, I knew she was gonna die. Did she have to land head first? I mean, alright.
Scootaloo glanced backwards momentarily, her heart pounding. The noise of the constant beating drowned out any other sound in her head, her ears throbbing along with it. The corridor was just like the one that led to the theater room, cramped, with dozens of obstacles jutting out at different intervals. Straight behind her, maybe 500 meters now, the bloody mare that used to be Rainbow Dash was cruising along herself. Both Pegasi were completely straight, hooves forward, wings beating at an impossible count.
Wait. Stop.
The Pegasi were completely straight.
Wait.
Straight behind her, maybe 500 meters now.
Wait for
The
it.
bloody mare that used to be Rainbow Dash was cruising along herself. Both Pegasi were completely straight.
Wait, I gotta get this right. This might not be worth it. This joke that I'm about to do might not be worth it, but I gotta try. I actually have to try. Give me a moment, chat. Give me a quick moment. Hold the fucking phone. Nobody steal my joke. Wait, where is it? All right, here we go. You ready? Play.
Bloody mare that used to be Rainbow Dash was cruising along herself. Both Pegasi were completely straight, hooves forward.
Both Pegasi were completely straight, not Rainbow Dash. All right, I don't think that was worth it, but still, it was worth it to me.
Wings beating at an impossible count, one trying to escape, the other to capture. Scootaloo looked forward again, focusing on what lied ahead of her.
That's all that matters. What's ahead of me?
She thought.
There's no changing what's behind me.
Well, duh.
Focus.
For the second time in many days, the flood of instinct overtook Scootaloo, and despite the terror she felt in her body, the sorrow that had surrounded her, and the evil behind her, her worries melted away, and the thought of flying encased her very being. Down under wires and pipes she ducked, up and around various workers whose complaints and shouts were ignored, only to be repeated momentarily as the raging pony behind collided with them. Her body doing the flying, Scootaloo's thoughts turned to escape opportunities. She whipped around sharp corners at impossible speeds, zipped up and down countless flights of stairs, trying to shake her murderous tail, but to no avail. She contemplated every nook and cranny she passed, briefly considering hiding. She struck that idea down. As insane as Rainbow may be, she was still too smart to overlook any possible spot Scootaloo may be. But there, ahead of her, Scootaloo thought of a solution. A garbage vent of some kind, sticking out
like
from
a
the
garbage
wall
chute
down to the floor below. Momentarily, she gave thought to where it may lead, whether out of the factory or into some kind of incinerator. She couldn't tell, but it was probably worth the risk. She snuck one last glance to make sure the unstable mare was far away enough. Rainbow Dash was paying no attention to any hazard as she sought her prey, tearing through electrical wires and ricocheting off heated pipes, going through any obstacle rather than around it to save time. but the collisions had slowed her down enough to give Scootaloo a chance. She slammed to a sudden halt over a vent, hoping for her life.
Ball.
She muttered, closing her eyes and wings, resisting the urge to start flapping immediately. She counted silently to herself as shadows passed her closed eyes, hoping for the best to where the vent led. 1, 2, 3. She opened her eyes and her wings and looked up, hovering. Rainbow Dash was up above, looking down into the vent. Her eyes were buggy and twitched. Her hooves pounded at the edge of the vent. She was too large to follow, the filly having barely made it to herself. But then, the anger in her face vanished, only to be replaced by a malicious grin. She started laughing again, the cackle echoing down the vent and reverberating in Scootaloo's mind.
Oh, you moron! You never did have a good sense of direction!
Where the fuck does this vent go? Everyone stop talking about V for a moment. Where the fuck does this vent go? What did Scoot do? What the hell?
Scootaloo finally looked down, getting her bearings.
Oh, no!
She was in the theater room again.
What
Only
the hell?
By now, it was filled with suited ponies, circling her. Their mask's face seemed to be grinning at her as Rainbow
So
Dash
this is
shouted
how it
over
ends,
the
huh?
vent.
Don't let her die! Just subdue her! I want to do it! It has to be me!
She
God
whinnied
damn
in
it.
glorious victory as the suits shocked Scootaloo with a taser, and as her limp body began to fall from the air, caught her and brought her to the floor. Scootaloo blacked out momentarily as the electricity passed through her, but came to lying on the cold cloud floor, metal shackles preventing her from moving. She struggled to get free. She could hardly shake. The chains lifted her slightly, bringing her small body eye to eye with the Pegasus in front of her. The pony was deep blood red, glistening in the artificial light of the factory. Her mane had small spots of glorious colors of the rainbow.
Look down,
but it
bitch.
was mostly the same red color of her coat of fur. Chunks of skin were missing from small spots, and her hair was ripped in some places, bald patches of skin in others. The only clue Scootaloo had as to who this used to be were those rose irises focused on her.
Any final words, you miserable, worthless, horrible fool?
I thought she was gonna call her a miserable whore, and I was gonna be like, oh, how do you know that?
Scootaloo brought her chin high, still demanding even the tiniest fraction of dignity.
You have beautiful eyes.
What? Is that it? Is that where everything stops? What the hell? What kind of ending is that? It's like enemies to lovers is like, you have beautiful eyes. The end. There's no more pages. All right, get the hell out of here, everybody. So Aurora Dawn wrote this, okay? I don't get it. I don't get it either. Mag was Scoot. Astro Brony was Orion. Mary, I gotta read some of these names. Mary Melody was Aurora. The Lost Narrator was Rainbow Dash, obviously. Goody was the instructor, obviously. Chaotic was the henge pony. Applesauce was the boss pony, okay. Cole Petty, Dr. Atmosphere. Cole Petty, Tased Pony. Thornquill was the Suited Pony. And Gina M was the Pink Pony. Dude, the fucking Rainbow Factory remixes will always be dope to me. Okay, Grim, are you still here? I have a question, and you can spoil this for me, because it seems that you are very knowledgeable about Rainbow Factory lore. I'm thinking more about the ending. Does that imply that, like, Rainbow Dash lets her live and she becomes, like, a worker there at the factory? Answer whenever you can, because that is a weird ending. Because that ending is a setup. That's a setup for the story to continue. Yes? Okay, I fucking nailed it. Because she didn't die. Like, usually when I listen to Grimdarks, it doesn't leave off cliffhangers like that. Alright. Rainbow Factory has 5 stories. Jesus Christ. I guess I just listened to the main one, the one with Rainbow Dash, and the one where Scoot figures out that Rainbow Dash is like an asshole. Wait, does Wolf not know that I am talking? I see you in chat. I'm looking right at you. Yeah, there's a big delay. There's like a 30-second delay. I think I prefer the Rainbow Dash Presents version of the Rainbow Factory. You guys want to watch that one? We still have like 30 minutes in the stream. Let's see. Rainbow Dash Presents Rainbow Factory. How long is that? Rainbow Fun Factory. Wait, where is it? Where it is it this one? Rainbow Dash presents Captain Hook and Biker Gorilla. Is this the one? Did he rename it? No, you can't explain it in the Discord, sir, because after this, I'm taking my happy ass to bed. Is this the one? Let's see.
Hey, Chump. I hear you need some inane favor. Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting this channel, Dawn Somewhere. He used to make a lot of pony content. I always thought his writing was pretty funny.
Twilight, could you please hack Trixie Variety Show for me?
Do what now?
It's a website where they show videos that Trixie likes, and a lot of ponies go there. I want ponies to see my videos, so please hack them.
Okay, there are a number of problems with your brilliant plan, and one of them is that I don't know how to hack computers.
I thought you knew Linux.
I don't.
It's okay, I bought a book. You can read it and use your brain to learn how.
Another problem is that I don't care.
Man, friggin' Trixie Variety Show keeps putting my videos into footnote updates, which they call roundups, and sometimes that's only after I pester them. One of them told me in an email that he thought my videos were just boring, played-out stories that nobody wants to hear again.
Well, it sounds like they don't care either, so the circle is complete.
Darn it, I've got my own songs, a lengthy script with over 200...
Let's see. Is it okay if I self-promote a little wolf? Grim, you could promote. Why does Rainbow sound like butt mash? That's a part of the joke. Rainbow has the most delightfully annoying voice in like the Dawn Somewhere videos. Is it Rainbow Factory related? Yes, it is. It's like a comedy retelling of Rainbow Factory.
50 lines of dialogue, several voice actors, and the entire thing is hand-drawn and edited frame by over 1,000 frames. Seriously, I have more than 1,000 pictures in this folder, but they said they're not gonna touch it.
Well, if they let everyone get by on that amount of effort, I imagine they'd be buried in thousands of submissions doing the exact same thing. They've got to set standards.
Some guy named Alclough Pones made it to the media page by doing a half-assed 1-minute voiceover of a scene from Peter Pan, and then another user made it to the media page by adding the chorus of Space Jam to that.
Why do you want on this website again?
I need to be loved.
Okay, look, it's obvious that videos are run fairly and professionally, so if anything, your videos are just being bounced or shuffled aside because the guys in charge have a prejudice against whatever it is you're reading. Since they're probably not really watching the video to verify quality, I figure you should just change the title to something else.
Would I get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
The Rainbow Dash presents Captain Hook the Biker Gorilla. It's Rainbow Factory. Also check out my new fireplace.
I made my own audio drama of Rainbow Factory that actually hints to what happens after the end, which Grimm's version of Rainbow Factory is really good. Why, when I googled, fucking put it into YouTube, for your version of Rainbow Factory doesn't pop up? You have to hit me with a link to that. I could watch it in my own time. It's in the credits. It's in the credits to the story that we just watched? It features in the Month of Macabre 2021 playlist. Okay, I'll go look at that. God, you got me so confused right now.
Kind of a long intro here. I know, it's a long video. It's a bright springtime day in Cloudsdale. The weather is predictably perfect, and the reason is because today is the day of the Pegasus exams for all the little fillies and colts. Scootaloo, you've just turned old enough to take your test. You woke up feeling a little nervous, but after barfing once, you feel a lot better. That's gross. Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle are here for moral support. They decided to come along after seeing how worried you were, so they're tied to your tail and some balloons so they won't fall down.
The string is chafing me. That is normal.
Don't worry, baby. I know just the thing to soothe those rubbing birds. Hoo! So you go out there and you sign a
Oh yeah,
papers,
fucking
and then you wait in line.
Scootaloo is like a fucking Johnny Bravo knockoff.
Colt. Hey there, handsome. I like your hair. Does the carpet match the drapes?
I don't know.
Mine does.
I'm Orion Comet. You can call me OC for short.
I'm Hoot Scootaloo, and these are my friends Apple Bloom and Thrackerzod.
Yeah, this delay is bad.
Magical unicorn.
I like your wings.
I've never seen an Earth Pony in Cloudsdale before. Are they taking the exam?
No, they're just here to watch my ass. Hoo-ah! There's like some kind of instructor there named Miss Blossomforth. She looks a lot like Cheerilee, except with wings, and she's totally different colors.
Students, stop your chattiness. We have work today. I have a test to administer, and it will not be postponed. Now continue to stand in a disorganized line. I will call your names in alphabetical order, so... You! Are you chewing gum? Spit it out. Now, I will call your names, and our judges will determine if you have passed the exam. However, I must warn you, there are many ways to fail. If you fly too far west, you will fail. If you drop below the cloud layer, you will fail. If you perform the exam in reverse, you will fail.
What if we opt out of taking the test?
The exam is offered again in the fall, and upon that exam, you will fail.
What if we finish too fast?
Then you will fail.
And what if we pass?
Then you exit the educational system, and that is a world an educator is frowned upon to understand. I know not what will happen.
So we don't have to go to school anymore?
I assume yes, though I dare not contemplate the consequences.
Sweet. I want that one. You guys all get ready, and Miss Blossomforth calls out some names. The first one is some little filly named Aurora.
I heard she has pony age.
You there? You're not tough during the exam.
Aurora starts with the test, but pretty much right away she breaks one wing, dislocates the other, and chips 4 teeth. She does all of this during freefall, which I'm pretty sure wasn't possible beforehand.
Somebody must help that pony.
I do not think that pony can be helped.
Are you passing notes? If you are not passing notes during the exam,
fucking passes her a picture with a number on it.
This is an educational system, and the system does not have time to differentiate between good and bad note passing. Go to the gates of shame with Aurora? No!
I guess he's not passing anything that has to do with the exam. OC goes to the gates of shame, and your name comes up next, Scootaloo. Here, hold these guys. Hold them tight. Wait, I have an idea. What if we help you with your exam?
Oh, that's brilliant, baby, but I'm not sure I can seduce Miss Blossomforth well enough for the judges to allow it, sugar pie.
The rules say no Pegasus may receive assistance from another Pegasus, or a bizarro Pegasus. The system does not have time to understand its own intent. So, you are permitted to receive help from your friends. However, if they turn out to be secret Pegasi, then you will be failed.
Alright, let's show them the superiority of a threesome. Hooah!
We're gonna ace this test.
The words are stupid, but I must agree with the group.
Well, the entire test is just a physical exam, so with 2 other ponies tied to you, you basically bomb the time cloud kicking exercise, Apple Bloom gets tangled up in the hoops during the agility section, and the extra weight causes you to fall right through the cloud floor during the free fall portion. The judges kinda fail you with a vengeance.
Wait, I want a do-over. I had an unfair handicap in that I had 2 fillies riding me the whole time.
The educational system does not have time to understand the difference between a normal, unencumbered pony and a pony that has other ponies tied to her. If this exam were fair, it would take all day. Now, go to the gates of shame.
No amount of
You
logic
will
could
be
beat the
failed.
educational system, you guys. You got no other choice but to go to the gates of shame with Aurora and Orion.
No, I want to go with the other ponies. There are more of them.
Waiting for you there is pretty much the creepiest pony you've ever seen. It looks like somebody cooked bacon in his hair this morning. He's got the kind of facial scruff you'd use to scrape crud off of dishes that you've left out for like a month. He's got a beat-up old van with no engine in it, and you can only assume that he pulls it himself from elementary school to elementary school on the weekdays.
I will not stand for this kind of humiliation.
Nobody is humiliating you.
Yeah, you're not being humiliated, Orion.
It's true. Now you sound like an idiot.
Well, then I'm humiliated, and I will not stand for this kind of humiliation.
My name is Dazzler, and this is my cat. He pays the bills, but I have rights too. Get in my van!
Jesus
ring
Christ.
is broken. Like, really, really bad.
Okay, get in the van!
I was sorta hoping for some medical attention.
9!
I will not stand for
Don't
this
say
maltreatment.
9 like that.
Get in the van! The cat is a doctor! How do you think he pays the rent?
Aurora climbs in the van and the cat follows afterward. Dazzler pops the hood of his van and pulls some clipboards and stuff.
Here, fill out this medical paperwork and be sure to list any pre-existing conditions or medication allergies. Please hand me your insurance information when you return the forms.
She has pony aids.
You guys fill out the confusing paperwork as
She
best
does
you can.
not
and
have
after a while,
pony
the cat comes
aids.
out, and Dazzler ushers you into the back of the van. The entire process uses kind of a lot of unnecessary physical contact. The inside of the van smells like burnt cheese and mouthwash, and the only thing in there is like a billion Parasprite cans. It looks like Aurora's all better though, or at least in one piece. That cat is a friggin' miracle worker, granted a complete lack of medical equipment. The van starts moving. Where you're going, you have no idea, but you get the feeling it's gonna be kind of a long trip. So...
I hear you have pony aids. Do any of the rest of us have pony aids?
Wherever Dazzler is taking you, his route is totally indirect. He's driving all over Cloudsdale. He stops at the drive-thru at the bank.
Just because the cat pays the rent doesn't mean I don't have rights. And I would like to deposit a check. The cat can't stop me.
He goes to a drive-thru at McSoy's.
I would like a double happy.
Sir, you can have a double happy. Get the hell out of my drive-thru.
He drops you off at the hardware store and leaves you there for like an hour. When he comes back, he smells like fish. Basically, he takes you all over town, then he finally drives you guys to the weather factory in Cloudsdale. A pair of stallions approach the van. They're wearing gym clothes and Mexican wrestling masks to hide their mysterious identity.
Hey, Dazzler.
There's nothing hey about it.
So, these kids, they're from the actual exam this time, right?
The only thing I hate more than children is children on skateboards.
Okay, come on, kids. Let's let Dazzler get
Scoot
back
is
to
like,
the
definitely couldn't be
We got
talking
all
about
the-
me.
You guys pile out of the van and follow the 2 masked ponies inside the weather building. In the reception room, a white pony in a bright purple suit is there waiting.
Hey, kids! Welcome to the Rainbow Factory! It's like Willy Wonka in here!
Wait one feels a dream minute. Our punishment for failing our exam is we have to take a tour of the Rainbow Factory with a crazy pony.
Wait, which one of us is the fat kid, baby? I call not it.
I want to be an Oompa Loompa.
Bye, Beyblader.
Take me to them so the deed may be done.
Nose goes is the fat kid.
Ow! I don't even like chocolate.
Too bad.
I'm thoroughly outraged with this fat kid thing, and in love with Scootaloo. What? cut me some slack. She looks like my mom, okay?
See, we are all having fun. You don't need to run away through the cloud floor or through the walls or anything. You're not gonna be ground up into rainbows, and that's a silly thing to think was gonna happen, you know?
What did they do to DJ Atmosphere?
They're going to grind us into rainbows.
Okay, now that's morally outrageous, right? Somebody is with me, aren't they? I'm starting to get a little frustrated over here.
Cut it out, you two. She just said we weren't gonna be grinded up into rainbows.
Yeah, that's kind of rude, Orion.
You're the fat kid.
Wow, you are such a jerk.
That was rude, baby. It's okay, Aurora. You ain't fat.
What the fuck is happening?
What did she ever do to you, huh?
Okay, kids, the time for ridicule is over. I've got a super fun thing for you. It's a waiver form. It's like a maze or connect the dots, except with a signature. You just write your little names here, and then we're gonna go on a magical tour.
Wait, doesn't Willy Wonka kill all of the children?
Okay, hey, that's a good point. Okay, I'm not Willy Wonka no more. I'm Pogo the Clown. See, you can trust Pogo. She's safe with kids.
You can trust Pogo like I can trust Grim.
Well, if Thrakkerzad trusts the situation, then so do I.
So you guys sign your waivers and follow Pogo the Clown on a tour of the factory, which ends in a gigantic room made out of fluffy clouds. There's like 100 other kids here too. Most of them have the sniffles or broken wings. There's like one kid who's got a magical glandular problem and his butt's like falling through the floor. He'd make a pretty terrible weather pony. There's also a big machine in here, and it looks like about 6 ponies in Mexican wrestler masks and sweat clothes are watching it. There's cookies and punch by the doors. Pogo flies off. She says she's got to go talk to her boss, and that there's cookies and punch by the doors.
What is the machine for?
Nothing.
So, Orion, you love you some Scootaloo, do you?
Well, maybe love isn't the right word.
Well, baby, the sky is just like a big ocean, and I'm your little love anemone.
I thought sea anemones reproduced asexually.
Not this sea anemone, my hunkalicious manatee.
It's just what my mom would say.
No, it
I
isn't.
understand the Phillies in my life. I just enjoy their company.
My mom was really good at embroidering.
Y'all should be a tuna, because they're the chickens of the sea.
Suddenly, everyone goes quiet, and their attention turns to the most awesome supervisor in the world, who has just stepped onto the balcony above you. She's got her mask on backwards again, but she was in a hurry because she was late, so, you know. But you can just tell that she's probably like the fastest supervisor in Equestria. She can't breathe or anything, so she takes off her mask so she can turn it around, and oh my gosh, it's Rainbow Dash. She's so awesome.
Hi, Rainbow Dash.
Yo, hey guys, how's it going?
We're okay, baby. How are you? Want to meet my new boyfriend?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll come right down. Hey, boss, aren't we supposed to, you know? Yeah, about that, I was thinking that, maybe, you know, I'm really tired today, and the kids just got here, and I mean, we got cookies and punch over there, and I brought my stereo, so I was just thinking that, instead of doing the things that we normally do, maybe, we could have a pizza party. Okay, first thing, we can't afford that many pizzas. Second thing, the only reason we afford anything at all is because somebody is paying us to do a job.
Well, it's a sucky job. Hey, Rainbow Dash.
Hey, Apple Bloom.
How come you're wearing a wrestler mask?
Oh, well, it's the dress code that we have to wear a mask, because, you know, this whole factory thing is totally like a secret conspiracy. Except morale was really low, because all we did was secretly grind ponies into other rainbows. So I thought it would really help if we went out to do like Crazy Town Mondays and Casual Fridays. They still have to wear the mask, the wrestler mask.
He's so upset. He's like, why did you just tell them that?
That's really nice.
Yep, I've only been working here for 3 days, but I'm like the best supervisor.
What was that part about the rainbows and the grinding again?
Oh. Man, you weren't supposed to tell them! They don't call it a conspiracy because you announced it to a room of 100 children! Now I dressed up like Willy Wonka and a clown for nothing!
See? Outrage. Totally justified.
We're going to be grounded up into rainbows.
No, there's punch and cookies by the door. No rainbows. Pizza party.
You been grinding up ponies, baby? You sure you don't mean grinding up on ponies?
No.
Shut up! Shut the fuck
I
up!
myself in the bathroom, and I was all like, no, the bathroom is occupied. You can't come in. I'm not going. You can't make me go out there. You didn't tell me that there's gonna be little children. I'm not going out there. And they had to break down the door and drag me out of there. They sent me home after. On the second day, they had the key, so they didn't break anything down. And today's the third day, and we've earned a break, and we should have a pizza party. There's cookies and punch by the door.
Well, what's the point?
Okay, there's a really good reason for this, and I can totally explain. Maybe over some pizza? No.
There's no good reason for us to be ground into rainbows.
I am a normal pony, and as such, I desire a normal explanation, in detail, of the ritual sacrifice of children.
Who, me?
You're the one who told me in the first place.
Yeah, okay, give me a second. You will be turned into rainbows, everyone will be so happy. You'll be gone, but that's okay though. Hey, cheer up, it's not that crappy. If you assume it your life goal to convert into a rainbow, you dare not be disappointed once I stuff you into this hole.
Yeah.
This is where we take your taxes, where we make the weather wanted. We're not chemists, so don't ask us how this method got so vaunted. This job does not need a degree, that is how they got stuck with me. I need this for healthcare, you see, so I can afford therapy.
Man, there is a good reason, but that don't tell them nothing.
What do you mean? I need the friggin' health benefits.
That's it? What about the history?
The history is that I can't go back to $11.25 an hour because I eat too much fast food and it's really hard to pay my bills. Okay, I'll admit that they usually say you should do it for the love of the job and not for the money, but the economy is really rough right now and this was the best I could get.
You know what? I'm gonna explain it Lucino style. Listen up, kids. Let's go back to 1,000 years ago. Everything you know is owned by Celestia. The tiny blade of grass that fed on the sun, the tiny grasshopper that fed on the grass, the snake in the grass that fed on the grasshopper, the holy evil government owned by Celestia. All things trod beneath an iron roof, united, divided, divided by Celestia. All hailed humbly to the mighty God, until one day, then came the war. Nightmare moons swept from the sky, lasers from her eyes and teeth like knives. The power of our God was simply not enough to overcome her sister. The one had sacrificed a piece of her mind to the dark gods for deeds unkind. Son lost until the time.
It's like, why even raise the sun at that point?
Each one power to retain the rest. Sacrifice in turn was the gist. With so many, what was one? This foul war must be done. It must be something she could do without, a superfluous power that she could leave out. She pervaded them all and made her decision. She rested her choice, her prismatic precision. No more rainbows was her decree. Equestria's ponies would pay this fee, but petty politics on another route. The electorate could not do without. So the duty failed to the Pegasi, and when they found a solution, they began to cry. Your treatments without grinding our youth into a fine mist of color, and that is the truth. But our pleas for reprieve fell upon deaf ears, and the exit goal showed our greatest fears. We must make rainbows, there wasn't a choice. The boneheads and mud ponies smothered our voice. And so, we built a machine.
Your plans are interesting, but I think they may be improved upon. For example, perhaps we might inscribe certain words on the machine when the children are sacrificed.
Ah, see? What a great kid. She's so helpful. We should throw a pizza party.
No way. If we don't do this now...
What is with you in a fucking pizza party?
One of those kids up.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should sing another song.
We don't have time for another song. We'll sing tomorrow.
Thank you, Bluish Pony, for the $5.
Okay.
Have my $5 that I left in my Google
Ryan,
Play balance. Thank you
just
so
sit
much.
here, alright?
Come on.
Okay. So we discovered that for whatever reason, the rainbow process works better if you're holding a puppy. So here's a puppy. I named him Mr. Snuffles because of the way he tickles my
No!
And also, it works better if you hold a picture of your family. So here's a picture we got of your parents wishing you good luck on the exam. Yeah, and also, it works better if you have a box of crayons so you can color when you go to Pony Heaven.
Man, get over it. After a few of these, it's like nothing. Sure, you stay up late at night thinking about how your family would think of you, and you wonder what pony hell is gonna be like, but other than that, it's no big deal.
No!
Come on, man.
Wait! I'm not ready! I think maybe we should escape.
That pony is going to be sacrificed. Oh, I'm going to utter a prayer so hard. I mean, yes, we should escape.
How are we gonna escape? My wing is broken, so I can't fly.
She makes a good point, baby. We're surrounded by an impenetrable prison of fluffy clouds, and the 100 of us unrestrained children are being guarded by no less than 6 colorful winged ponies. Truly nothing could be more terrifying.
We need to devise an extraordinary plan.
No, I am sure a regular plan will be just fine.
Maybe we can tell everyone to follow the sequence from the exam from earlier, and each sequence will be a code from a particular kind of attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the exam that everyone in this room was too mentally deficient to pass?
We need to think of a distraction.
Hey everyone, look at Scootaloo dance!
We need to think of a distraction that doesn't draw attention to us.
Oh my god, they're going to grind us into rainbows! Everybody panic!
Oh my gosh, wait guys, we don't have to get violent, we can still have a pizza party. There's punch and cookies by the door.
Good work, Aurora. Now everyone run! It's locked! It made the clouds! What do we do? Did y'all just come from over there?
Yes. I have traversed the plane of the Rainbow Factory.
Tell us how to boogie on out of here, baby.
Very well. You can start by running up the stairs to the crypt. Grab the book from the
God
skeleton
damn it!
and
God
pass into
damn
the
it!
king's
God damn it!
Knock over the column and climb into the king's storeroom.
The fucking what was that fucking game show called? The fucking Legends of the Hidden Temple. They're doing a Legends of the Hidden Temple bit right
Into
now.
the chamber of the secret markers. Match the symbols on the right to those on the left, and pass into the room of the ancient warriors. Place yourself in the correct armor, and open the door to the shrine of the silver monkey. Assemble the statue, and you may be headed to the room of the secret password. Find the tablet with the correct inscription, and shout it to open the door to the Pharaoh's secret passage. Slide down the tunnel to the quicksand bog, where you could smash through to the dark forest. But beware of the temple guards, which may inhabit the trees. Find the key in the tree, and you'll enter the Jester's Court. Press yourself against the correct wall painting, and you'll gain entry to the Tomb of the Headless Kings. Pull the vines to release their bones, and attach the missing skull to the proper king.
This is the longest explanation of any Legends of the Hidden Temple setup I've seen.
The choices are yours, and yours alone.
You guys, go ahead. I will wait here and violently wage off war between Rainbow Dash.
Okay, bye.
Hey kid, did Apple Bloom and her friends go that way? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Here. So you guys are doing well. You make it all the way to the room of this silver monkey.
I'm trying to force it, but it won't go.
The head is backwards.
Try jiggling it around.
The head is backwards.
Maybe it's broken.
The head is backwards.
They take you to the main factory where everyone is calmed down now, and they're enjoying the punch and cookies. You don't know how that came to pass, but they do look like good cookies.
Run, Thrakkerzad! Help us! How long do you think before y'all come back?
I already opened the door for you and gave you directions. What more do you want from me?
The temple guards leave you at the top of the rainbow machine, where Orion is still sitting with his puppy and stuff. Dash has cleverly taped an out-of-order sign to the operating lever of the thing, so the day is probably saved.
Very funny, man. I'm the factory engineer. I think I know if the machine was broken down.
You don't know. You didn't check it first. We have to close down for maintenance.
Alright, boss. I know you're new and this is hard. Look, I tell you what. How about we take the kid and the puppy off the machine and we just do a practice run, okay?
Okay.
Now come over here and pull the lever, man.
Right. The lever. Which part was that again? I think I should go to the bathroom and check the manual. Really loudly.
The bathroom doesn't have locks anymore.
That's okay.
Look, I'll show you. It's not so bad, see?
Pogo the engineer clown pulls the lever. The crayons and the picture of Orion's family fall into the hole and disappear into a pit of whirring blades. After some silly noises, a stream of colorful rainbows flows out of the bottom of the machine and into a giant vat.
Did that thing just make rainbows?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do, right?
Out of crayons and a picture of a family? Are you kidding me? We don't even need a kid?
I guess so.
Quick, put another picture of a kid's family on there.
We do, and sure enough, the machine produces another batch of rainbows.
Oh, man.
I can't believe we're going to pony hell for nothing. So given the new circumstances, you guys and all the other kids go home to your families, where you're allowed to take happy pictures that are then fed into a horrible machine for the nefarious purposes of the government. Clydesdale's politicians celebrate by lowering taxes for the rich. Yay, government. So, the end.
Maybe we could tell everyone to follow the attack.
That fucking, oh my god, dude. I don't know what it is, but holy shit. That is a hilarious take on the Rainbow Factory story. I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, I have been streaming for the golden hour, which has been 2 hours. I gotta go away. I have to leave. I must return to my home planet now. And I am gonna leave all of you with whatever the hell you've been doing up until this point. I gotta react to the cough and the tale of the lost narrator, so be on the lookout for those. My name is Wolfhead Brony. Become a mad lad, buy my sticker, so on and so forth, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.